Hi everyone, my name is Ben Joyce, and I will be here today to talk about my experience as a natural sciences student at Lancaster on a placement year. I'll be talking a little bit about my application process, a bit about what I did in my role, what I gained from my role, and then also something about how being a Lancaster natural sciences student impacted my application process and my everyday activities. So I'm going to switch over to a PowerPoint now and have a little chat through. Okay, then I'm going to start with just a little bit about me. My name is Ben Joyce. I am a Natural Sciences BSc placement year student. When I started my degree in 2021, I was enrolled on the single mathematics, physical geography, and environmental sciences pathways. I now spend pretty much a 50-50 split in the mathematics and environmental sciences pathways across departments. The main reason I'm here today is to talk about how I've just completed my placement year working in the atmospheric dispersion and air quality team at the Met Office. So applying for my placement year. So I was aiming to look for roles where I could apply my mathematical skills to the environment sector. My first port of call was to look at applying for mostly environment focused consultancies such as Atkins, Arup, and JBA Consulting. But through the weekly newsletter we received from the careers team, I saw there were opportunities at the Met Office. And I applied and interviewed for the Met Office in March of last year. I accepted the job offer in April and I moved to Exeter to start my job in July. I worked in the atmospheric dispersion and air quality team at the Met Office, more commonly known as ADAQ. And work in ADAQ generally revolves around the maintenance and the development of the numerical atmospheric dispersion modeling environment, commonly known as NAME. So NAME was originally developed after the Chernobyl disaster. So it was formerly known as the nuclear accident model, but it has since been developed to model a wide variety of dispersion events. And my role particularly was focused on exploring different ways of statistically evaluating the performance of historical name runs for volcanic dispersion events. And we compared them to satellite retrievals for the same events to assess their performance essentially and look for ways to improve the model. So some skills I gained from my placement year. So the obvious one would be kind of expanding my knowledge in the sector of mathematical modeling and specifically dispersion modeling. I was lucky to have the opportunity to learn to write in a new coding language, so I learned to write in Python, and I gained a much better understanding of good software development practices. Um, I think one of the most important skills I developed last year was my skills in effective scientific communication, and the idea of no science is good science unless it can be communicated well. I had some brilliant presentation opportunities, and I had the opportunity to collaborate with experts in their fields across departments at the Met Office. I also got the opportunity to present to peers at conferences such as the Royal Meteorological Society Early Careers and Student Conference, which is pictured there. I had an opportunity to essentially see how my skills and my education could translate into impactful scientific work. I think it's very easy to get bogged down in your degree into the mindset of, oh God, when am I going to use this? When am I going to use this? And it was really interesting to get a gauge for how my knowledge and how my education could be applied in industry. Um, Besides the job, the placement year really gave me a new lease of independence, a real opportunity to learn about myself, what made me tick on a day-to-day basis, what I needed, what I required, what I was missing, and an opportunity to develop hugely as a person. And obviously, I've put this in brackets at the bottom because it's not something you want to highlight too heavily, but it is something quite impressive to put on the CV and something to make you stand out when looking for graduate roles and potential further education. So something really interesting to focus on is how being a Lancaster Natural Sciences student shaped my placement year. So I think that being a Lancaster student and being a natural sciences student in particular was hugely impactful and two of the best decisions I've made. Um, for starters, as a placement student in the Faculty of Science and Technology, we had access to a dedicated placement team who were fantastic. I had multiple meetings with multiple one-on-one meetings with my placement advisor, particularly the day before my Met Office interview, where I received invaluable advice in terms of how to present myself and top tips for the interview. Having a greater breadth of knowledge and experience across these scientific disciplines really allowed me to set myself apart in the application process. I specifically remember reading in the initial job description that they were looking for someone who has experience in mathematics or the physical sciences, and I was in a very unique position where I could say, oh, well, I've got experience in both. I think something that is kind of overlooked in terms of a skill you gain from natural sciences is kind of being able to tell a story in interview. So being able to explain how you shaped your unique degree, how you shaped your degree based on your pathway selections and your module selections in later years and how they interacted, was a hugely important skill in my interview. I could say that I'd taken on modules in the environment department based on mathematical modelling, but I'd further kind of attributed that knowledge um, with a deep dive into statistics in the maths department, and it was something I felt was a really, really good talking point in interview. And also within the role, that kind of greater breadth of knowledge and experience that you gain from being a naturally from being a natural sciences student, was key to understanding many areas of my role. And it was also really, really good to be able to communicate with a wide range of people across the organisation, because my knowledge wasn't too specific. I was able to at least understand a little bit of what most people were saying, and it really helped with communication, and kind of confidence as well in my everyday role. So yes, thank you for listening. Um, I'm just going to stop sharing this now. So thank you for listening, everyone. If you have any further inquiries about natural sciences or inquiries that you would like referred to me, please get in touch with naturalsci@lancaster.ac.uk. And I hope you enjoyed my presentation.